Hello survivors and welcome to another video. In today's video we are playing on the Hound Master. We haven't done a video where we show the Heartseeker Rifle. For some reason when it comes to Curse 7 or Curse Intensity 48 we are struggling to make a bleed only build. So we're not going to do bleed only, we will use his threshing blast as well as precise shot and focus on stronger skills as well that will help us complete Curse 7. So reroll mastery, weapon expert, multicast mastery, executioner and generalist are our runes, and with this weapon we get an Alsatian as our companion, which we like to pet. So very cool. Again, in the caves of Delzog, because this isn't the strongest of builds, unless you get like a lot of multicast as well as cast frequency very early, as well as a lot of bleed. So threshing blast is the same as all those stacking skills that deal more damage based on how many stacks of X the enemies have on them. So in this case, threshing blast is how many stacks of bleed or hemorrhage they have on the enemy. So very much a projectile version of subdue. Subdue being the melee or swing skill, which deals more damage based on how many bleed stacks there are on the enemy. So bleed or hemorrhage. Now again, like I said, we are going to be focusing more on our cast frequency as multicast. We're not really too worried about crit. We didn't take the crit mastery. Obviously, if we do get a rare crit modifier, we will grab that. But otherwise, we are going to be focusing on the cast frequency as well as multicast. So cast frequency there. And then we're going to look for really strong skills that will complement this. So I am going to grab Avalanche. The slow is very helpful, as well as the damage it will provide, as well as the negative effects. And because it does have different tags, it also gives us bonus damage because of Generalist. Now usually when you take Generalist you go Chromatic Bolt, but I really feel like, you know, that's what every single build does. So we are going to try and stay away from Chromatic Bolt, because, you know, that's just the general thing. But if you are trying to do this yourself, then, you know, grab it, because it can give you that extra bit of damage. Now, because we do have our executioner, we're going to grab one venomous, and then we will focus on other things. Now over here, I am going to grab lightning bolt. Dazed is fantastic, and we will also hope we get ourselves an impending doom, so that we can go from doom to dazed, and then we can replace lightning bolt. But until then, lightning bolt, very strong skill, very high base damage, but we're going to work on the cooldown reduction of our skills because they are quite high. Alright, now we can go for explosive shot as well, also a blast skill, so going to give us more of the tags for blast, as well as provide us with weakness, which is extremely strong as well. So very good skill to grab as well. Having the weakness proc on enemies is fantastic and just makes your damage that much stronger. So it's very important to know that these negative effects that you can apply onto enemies are very important. Another thing we are going to be looking for is agile, and we were lucky enough to get ourselves an exposed weakness here as well. And even egg shooter is actually very strong. So we haven't done a video yet on egg shooter. I think last time we were looking for it, we actually failed to find it. So we are going to grab the egg shooter. We're going to go for our agile, pick up the other agile as well, because that movement speed is going to make a big difference. Now having access to egg shooter is actually... Ooh, no, why? Oh man. Okay, I completely forgot about the event in the caves, so that is a little bit of a problem. We are going to have to try our best to stay away from the eggs now, so we're going to have to corner ourselves. I do want to get rid of these over here, however, so get rid of these, and we're going to just try and stay in one of the corners, because we have made a big mistake there grabbing those eggs. So if we do randomly pick up one or two of them, that's not such a big deal. The big deal comes in if we pick up like 8 of them, we're not going to be able to move away from the bosses in time to, you know, protect ourselves or to dodge their damage. So very, very dangerous to have, you know, hit that event in the Curse 7 unintentionally. But, you know, if you're feeling brave and you wanted to do it, then you can quite easily. So area of effect for projectiles, again, we're not really interested in area of effect. We're actually going to banish this, and we will go for some cast frequency over there. We can't, we don't even need bleed. So we're going to grab cast frequency. We're going to grab a slow, hoping for the hypothermia. Multicast is perfect. Banish armor, more multicast, more multicast. I don't think there's any other skills that we will be looking for in particular. So we're going to grab damage over here and a fragility stack over there so that we can apply more fragility as well to the enemies. So that's going to be very helpful. And as you can see, because of the exposed as well as weakness as well as frailty or fragility, sorry, we do deal quite a decent chunk of damage to the bosses, as well as, you know, a very, very strong amount of damage coming out. So all of these event skills that we'll end up getting, the seasonal skills, let's call them seasonal rather than event, because that's the tag that they get. They are very, very strong. We've got the bunnies, which deal huge amounts of damage. We've got the egg shooter for exposed, which also, you know, makes us deal a huge amount of damage. We will probably get to a point where you'll see that threshing blast doesn't actually deal that much damage because it just requires us to be that little bit too close to the enemies, and compared to the rest of the skills in our arsenal, we aren't really that close to the bosses. But hopefully with exposed and things like that, it does make it so that we are dealing quite a decent amount of damage. Now, if you are struggling with damage, I would recommend shrapnel shot. But as you saw, our damage is pretty good. We're going to take one burn for the executioner and start going again for more multicast as well as damage. So really, really good over there. Crit because we didn't want anything else there. We're going to go and lock the multicast, grab damage, and there we go. So I think I am actually pretty happy with our layout of skills. So we will deactivate the active skills here as well, so that we can just start seeing upgrades. But as you can see, the egg shooter really is making a huge difference with regards to the amount of damage that we are dealing. Very, very fantastic. So we're going to go for the cast frequency on the egg shooter, and then damage increase for blast skills, which is our precise shot, threshing blast, as well as explosive shot over there. So very, very nice. As you can see, killed the Void Hunter very, very quickly. We do have an egg on us, so we're going to go deposit that because, again, we don't want any of that movement speed slow that we get from the eggs, and we're going to try and stay away from them as much as possible. Again, we don't really want to do the event. That wasn't our intention. I completely forgot that it existed on this map, and we accidentally freed the bunny, which we weren't supposed to do. Now, as you can see, because projectiles don't have that much AoE on them and things like that, it is quite easy to see where all the enemy attacks are going to be. So you can stay relatively close to them and safe because, well, you can kind of see everything on your screen, which is fantastic. We also did pick up a Swift in the beginning, which made it a lot easier for us to dodge abilities because we do have the 3 dodges. So very, very nice pickup over there. And then we are going to go for the cast frequency and multicast over there as well. So fantastic. Grab that. We can grab more cast frequency, the crit, more multicast. Over here, we're going to reroll. I forgot we actually have rerolls. Go for that. And we're going to go for the damage increase over here. A reroll again. A nice physical upgrade. Every single tag here is physical, so that's fantastic. And then we are going to be going for more multicast on the egg shooter. So our egg shooter really doing hard work over here for us. Won't necessarily have a huge damage number at the end of this game, but it is a huge difference because of the exposed that it is applying to the enemies. Because we also got exposed weakness, we will look at getting some more crit because as you can see we are only on 25%. I think at least 50% is necessary, because then we can always proc the exposed, and that's going to just help us, wound, sorry, not exposed, and that's just going to help us get double the amount of stacks of negative effects, and that's going to just help us deal more damage. So very, very, very good upgrade to grab if you are able to grab it. If not, it's not the end of the world, but very, 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 very strong upgrade. And I'm sure I say this every single video, so just a very good reiteration in case you haven't seen all my videos. Alright, so dodge those, try and stay away from the Fallen King. I don't like it when he is spinning on top of us. Luckily we did get explosions away from him, so that's for once the explosive goblins did us a favor and kept us away from him. As you can see, we do have quite a decent amount of multicast. You can see threshing blast going off a couple of times, or I can see it at least because I know what I'm looking for. But if you can't see it, it is going off quite a few times, like 2 or 3 times every time, and that definitely does make a big difference to damage. We don't have we do actually have a decent amount of bleed actually, because of exposed weakness as well as precise shot, so that is helping us here as well. Get rid of the paladin, there we go. Void hunter down, so we don't have to worry about a random ability sniping us. And again, we're going to work on cast frequency. I do think we need a little bit of movement speed now, so we will grab movement speed if we can. Over here, I think life is very important, and then we are going to go for multicast on the missiles tag. So no movement speed, but that's okay, not the end of the world. Even if you pick up a bloodlust instead of one of the skills over here, it would work wonders for you as well, because again, cast frequency and movement speed from bloodlust is very, very strong. So you could replace avalanche. I don't think avalanche is that important. We just use it here to apply the negative effects like our frailty, burn and poison, just so that we have more of them available for us for executioner. So it does help us get that 15% extra damage in there, as well as doom and burn. So it just helps us stack the negative effects on bosses, but not necessarily necessary for the build. Alright. Okay, things got a little bit dangerous there, unfortunately, so we did have to lose a life. We are fighting with a Chaos Bringer, and he did decide to use his, bomb, and we got caught in the middle of it, so unfortunately it did 1 KOS. That's very unfortunate. He is dead now though, so we don't have to worry about that bomb anymore, which is fantastic. But there is a Void Hunter up somewhere that's doing something that's causing a lot of grief for us. And we've also got all of these all the pylons are still up and alive and well, which is also a problem, and that's why you're seeing so many circles on the floor. We can be careful and go and destroy them without standing on any eggs, so we can actually go and destroy all of these just to help us with all of the AoEs on the floor. You can see there are more and more eggs on the floor the longer you take to collect them, and so on and so forth. It does put more and more of them on the floor, so we do have to just be careful, be more and more careful of this, because again, it is going to become harder for us to move around. That is why we have been sticking in one location as well. But luckily we didn't pick up any eggs, so that's fantastic, and we were able to get everything that we wanted. So more cast frequency, we're going to grab a little bit of movement speed here, nothing great there, or here. I don't actually think I have a doom, so we might look at that as well. but the movement speed is going to be very, very helpful here because we don't have a bloodlust. Alright, we did get knocked into quite a lot of these elites, but we are about to have our last boss fight, so we do have a spare life as well. But I'm gonna go, I do see another pylon that has just spawned, so we will look at destroying that as well. Alright, there we go. Let's go to the pylon. Because we are ranged, before we even get to the pylon, we will have damaged it. So, you know, there's that as well. Luckily, we never picked up any of the eggs over there as well. We're going to move to this side over here because I think we are in a little bit of danger. Get the crit. I think we're fine on cast frequency. Grab damage over here. Oof. Okay, we're gonna go cast frequency. Excuse me. Go back to the bosses over here, that's fine. And we're just going to run around a little bit. We do have the fire incarnation over here, so we're going to have to just run around him a little bit. Luckily, for some reason, the eggs aren't being picked up when we're close to them. The other day I tried to do something in the caves, and even when I walked even just a little bit close to them, it picked them up for some reason. I'm not sure what was going on there, but you know, that's just really, really hard to play when things like that happen. Not to play, but you know, to keep yourself safe. Alright, now unfortunately there is a lot of area of effect on our screen, so we can't get close to the bosses like we would like to. So we are going to have to take this last boss fight very, very slowly. As you can see, that is what we've been doing. We are going to kill 2 of them, which is fantastic. I don't think I've actually been focusing my egg smasher on them either, which has obviously made our damage be a little bit less than what it could have. But there we go. Done and dusted. Very strong build. I mean, not the greatest of times, but it was a fast enough time for us to be able to get to Overlord or Endless Cycles. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's see. Precise Shot and Threshing Blast dealing the most damage. That's fantastic because it was supposed to be about them. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.